Hey everyone,
Hello, we're back. I'm Rene,
I'm Jen.
and we're doing another episode. This is our second episode, our second shoot
Yep.
for the creatives.
Mhm.
I don't know that we have a title for this yet.
Well, I'm calling it We're Married and We're Business Partners. So, marriage and business.
Oh, that's right, marriage and business. That's right.
But that's the working title if you guys have any suggestions as to how to improve it. But we figured since we're happily married and we're in business together and we have our own businesses on our own, boy, that was redundant. Anyway, we could share some of the stuff. In fact, you know, it was kind of cool. I was thinking like we'd structure it like first off just check in how we've been in the last week, and then I remembered that when we spoke to some friends, Dory and Jesse, last week, we were telling them what we were doing, and they said, ooh, could you please share how you guys make it work as a married couple, because you guys are like unicorns, and how do you do it, and if you could share what you do that's different, that'd be kind of cool.
Well, it's an interesting question because I guess we can only speak for ourselves.
Right.
So have no one else to really, any other couples to bounce this off of, per
Right.
se. But I guess what it is we both work from home. We're both self-employed. I do work for Jen, for her business, for her company, and then I also have my own art that I am working on and my own design projects. So I would say from the time we are ready to, we wake up in the morning, I generally have been an early bird, and so I tend to want to look at the next day from the night before as thinking, okay, I really want to get up early, I want to be able to do my work, what projects am I going to tackle when I get up early. So for me, it's about getting up early. Nowadays, I probably get up about 7:30, 8 compared to 6 when I was working full-time for another company.
But we're also going to bed later because you don't have to be at your employer's office by 8 a.m. So
Right.
we tend to work into the wee
true.
hours sometimes.
That's true, yeah. But as far as how we make it work, we work from home, as I said before, but like Jen has at her office, her desk, like it's right over there.
Yeah, we could
It's-
flip the camera around later and
it's-
show it, but
it's-
it's literally right there in the middle of the living room.
Yeah, that would be stage
I have no walls.
right.
He has his
Stage
man
left.
cave though. He has a full-on bedroom with all of his art equipment and all of his different stations and bookcases and a door. So when he needs time away from me, he can always close the door, I guess.
Yeah, so we have our own working areas, and it's divided, pretty much living room and bedroom is basically what it is.
Because we are in only 900 square feet. So we're in Monterey, California. We live in a duplex. We're on the bottom floor of the duplex. Our neighbors are up there. And we only have 900 square feet to play with. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment.
And there's
Ocean
not really
view.
much to it other than the two of us and a cat. So
Yeah.
it's workable like that.
Yeah,
And
we're
there's
fortunate.
no foot traffic aside from the occasional recorded phone calls coming in.
Oh, yeah.
The
There's
landline,
robocalls.
the
Oh, how
yeah,
annoying.
the automated calls.
Mm.
Aside from that,
Lots of emails,
there's-
but that doesn't bother us.
there's plenty of space for us to work. So
Yeah.
I think it's different because it would be a different situation maybe if the couple were working actually at an actual place of business, where you have potentially other employees or other people.
Mhm. Right.
So we're ourselves around each other the whole time.
Oh,
that
meaning
might
we
be-
don't put on an act?
Well, yeah, because when you're at work, I mean, let's face it, you have to kind of
Game face.
be, on your game, and this is a certain way you act, for the most part.
Mm.
So since we're self-employed and we work from home, I think that aspect is different.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we're able to do it, just kind of like in a nutshell, just kind of prefacing that question, is we're able to be ourselves,
Mm.
and at the same time we're able to kind of work together, but not like together in the sense,
Well, here's something that I want to bring up. Okay, so we also own our dance business together, right? So I've got my marketing agency. He's doing his freelance work as an artist, and then we have our dance business together. And then yes, he does a lot of design projects for my clients, and he's in charge of our media division. I don't do any work for you, which is kind of good. He does a great job at writing. But anyway, I think part of it is we have a lot of trust. So this kind of goes back to when we first started dating, actually, which was 2007. We started dating in December of 2007. And one thing that I knew that I needed to do to have a relationship work. See, I had a starter marriage before, and now I'm in the dream marriage. And as I was going through all my therapy and my own personal development so I could learn from my mistakes and grow, I learned the 4 steps on how to get someone to do something for you. And I've actually taught a class on this, and believe it or not, this is not manipulation. It's just knowing how to treat people. So here we go. Here are the 4 steps. You can get anything you want from anybody if you follow these 4 steps. The first step is be very specific and ask for what you want. So don't just say, I'd like a car. Like, be really specific. I would like a car that is blue, that is 2011 Mini Cooper Countryman, with a white top and the stripes, and be really, really specific on what it is that you're asking for.
That's her car.
That's my car. Mini. My Mini. I love my Mini. It's called Pepe Le Bleu. The second step is, and this is very important, this second step is very, very, very important. It's called savor the waiting. Savor the waiting. So for example, if I'm asking him to buy me a car, it may not be an overnight thing because he may need to save up for it. If I'm asking him to buy me my dream house, it may take 25 to 30 years to save up for that. If I ask him to wash the dishes, that doesn't take long.
I'm going to wash the dishes right
now. No. I've already done that. Oh, you're just changing lights. Okay, I see. But so savor the waiting, and don't be a nag about it, but just, know that you've already asked something very specific about what you want, and then savor the waiting. And if there is a deadline on what you've asked, let it be known that there is a deadline. Hey, we have a project that's due tomorrow. Can you do it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So if he says yes, then I'm good, okay?
By the end of the day.
Right. Which
or
is fine.
Be specific, like I need it by noon.
And that's negotiable.
Yeah.
So, but there's a trust in there. So I know that what he says he's going to do, he's going to do it, because we are built that way. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. We're not flakes, which is part of the other magic. Okay.
No.
Step number
Try not to
3.
be.
Step number 3. When he does what I want him to do, what I've asked him to do, and he does it in the time that I've asked him to do it, baby, you are the best. Ooh, 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 thank you so much. And I know I go a little overboard, but what I'm saying is that he really does produce some beautiful content for me. Like, you made that flyer for me for Kukui, and it was gorgeous. It was like, he always makes me look good. Like, every time I ask for something, he always just makes something that is better than I ever could have dreamed or expected, because I trust that he has that natural talent. So, ooh, praise the heck out of them when they deliver. And then the 4th step, rinse and repeat. Ask specifically for what you want. Savor the waiting. Praise them. So this will work on your children, on your dog, on your cat, on your grandmother, on your husband, on your friends, right? It's kindness. It's communication and kindness. So anyway, when we first started dating, I knew that I had to accept Rene 100% as he was, because if I went into this relationship with you, first we start off as friends, and then we started dating 6 months later after knowing each other, and I knew I need to 100% appreciate and accept 100% of who you are, and not be like, he'd be perfect if he just did X or Y or Z. And you also came into the relationship accepting of the craziness that I am.
It's the same thing. It's a two-way street, for sure, but you have to be able to, pretty much be eye to eye on the same level. And that's how it kind of works.
Yeah. And I think that's really, if you really look at what makes us special and unique, we totally love and respect and trust each other, And we don't have to worry about, you never do this or you never do that. That doesn't even enter our conversation, because I know that you've always got my back, and you know that I've always got yours. Yeah.
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 That's good. That is true. There's truth to that.
Oh, but then there's also to be honest about it, so like I've brought him in to work with my clients, and I'm very protective of my clients because I have nurtured those clients. And you understand, because you come from a professional background, that we will serve and protect and do the best to delight my clients, right? So
Yep.
So something may go wrong, like a deadline might be missed or something is forgotten, and we quickly fix it and we own up to it. But we learn from that, and you know that these are my clients and they need to be taken care of. And so it's just important that if you're working together in business, that you remember that the real goal is to serve the clients in the best way possible, right? You have your partnership with each other. But then when you really look at it, business is surprising and delighting your clients in the best possible way. And you both need to be on board with that, because if you're not both on board with that, and let's just say, for example, your business partner or your child who's working for you or your spouse who's working for you, if they don't quite have that same ownership mentality of protecting and taking good care of the customer and delivering the products and services in a timely fashion, if that's not the unified goal of your partnership, that's where you're going to probably have problems.
Yeah, so that's getting, pretty spot on and pretty much deep diving into that aspect of the business.
I hope it's practical and helpful information.
I think, but it's also practical to understand that there's times when we're not necessarily always going to be on the same routine, is probably a good way to put it. There's times when I'll be working on something and it'll be harder for me to break away from that. And then Jen might have a meeting or an interview with a client or some other either in-person engagement or online or on the phone appointment that that if I wanted to do something, let's say I gotta wait for her, or if we were gonna go get lunch, something as trivial as that, it just depends on what's happening. From
Right.
where I came from before, I was used to getting lunch pretty much on the dot at noon.
On the dot.
Yeah, and that always worked out for me and for like.
Because you had a team of like 10 people who could fill in, right? And you guys were kind of on that work schedule where, right?
Yeah, but everyone's pretty much working on their own
Oh.
projects, so it's not like they were waiting for me to come and do something. But, when it comes to, I think, us working at home, like, it's nice when we can, either cook a meal at home here, or if we go to lunch outside, at a restaurant or something like that.
Get out of these
somewhere.
four walls.
Get out, then it works out. But there's always times when there are certain times, I should say, when we don't necessarily always
Sync up.
and that's okay too.
That's why there's snacks in the fridge, so you can grab
Right,
it
when it comes to something like that. So anyways, the way we work is like just respecting our space, but then also if we can time something to do something together, whether it's work related. If it is work related, then we have to be on the same page, because then it demands us both
Clearly,
to
we
take
both need
time
to be on that
and
call.
be on something, or But if it's something else, like lunch or going out, or even going out for a break, for a walk or something, those are considerations to work into whatever project you're working on or whatever project I'm working on. So it's all part of the mix of being able to work together.
Yeah. So far, it's been great.
Yeah, so far it's been awesome.
I mean, and then also too, like, again, we each have our strengths, right? So there are, if it's okay, I'll talk about the dance business a little bit. So in the first 7 years, first 7 years of owning the West Coast Swing Dance Company, I was pretty much the one that ran the business, because I was working from home and I had more time and he had the job. And so I was the one working with the dance pros that we would hire, and I would do all the database, and I would do all the banking, and I would do all the taxes, and and answering phone calls and answering emails, etc. And I think it was around year 8, right? Because we're in year 9. Yeah? Yeah. So
So-
year 8 was when it was like, okay, Rene, you take over the business. And there's still a few things that I still do. Like, I love walking to the bank because I love the people I bank with. And I absolutely love walking to the bank because I get my exercise and I get to see my friends. So I still do the banking. And I also do the onboarding of the emails and such. But he's the one that now sends out the emails, the marketing pieces, like letting everyone know when the next dance is. You're also in charge of creating the lesson that we're going to teach. And by the way, he does a fantastic job. He devotes, several hours to what you're going to teach and creating a really great playlist. And like, playlists are his thing. Oh my gosh, he's so good at it. So like, we just kind of have found like, where do we both excel, and we play to our strengths versus, handing him something that is not his bag. But fortunately, whenever I do need help on something, you're always happy to pitch in. But I think just you're really good at coming up with choreography of what you want to teach.
Oh, the lesson as far as what we're doing.
Yeah, and your music
Yeah.
choices are fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, our community is always complimenting you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's not like something I picked up from when we started doing it. It's just something I've learned how to do over the past 8-9 years or whatever it's been. So, even that was a work in progress, and from teaching to doing the music to, how to interact with the other students in a way that's not just, social, but also like from a business perspective. So that's all just something that I've had to learn, and, we're in it together. So,
Yeah.
we wore multiple hats, and, that's how we've learned and made it work.
Yeah.
And she's written 2 books about the dance business. So
Yeah, that's true.
clearly Jen knows how to take what she has learned and apply it in a way that could, communicate and maybe even educate.
Yeah, it's kind of
Her.
trippy. Like, okay, so our dance business, we never probably would have started a dance business. It just kind of was one of those universe things that just kind of happened. It was like, okay, so Joe Fletcher was the founder of the West Coast Swing Dance Company, who came up with this idea in, hold on, let me do the math here, November of 2009, right? We had our first meeting with him. I had just started I had just started Rockstar Marketing in October of 2009, and I needed business. And so he hired me to do the business and Rene to do the graphic design. And he says, I want to raise the level of dancing in the Monterey Peninsula. Would you 2 work for me? Sure, okay. And then we would do meetings from like November of 2009 to March of 2010. We had our
She's so good at that.
I'm a dates person because I have my master's in history. I just like dates. So yeah, I really like dates, except for like I know everyone's birthday dates, but when it's the actual birthday, I'm so busy like doing work that I forget that it's birthday. It's a weird quirk I have. Anyway, so yeah, March of 2010, we launched the Tuesday Night West Coast Swing Dance Company or something like
That's
that.
right. It was a Tuesday night.
And then we did it
lessons.
for like 4 months, and then I think around May, Joe Fletcher said, I'm going to sell the business. And we're like, okay. And we're just like, clueless. He goes, and I'm going to sell it to you. And we're like, huh? Like, we just didn't picture it.
Mm-hmm.
And the deal was that we paid him real money to buy the business. So we officially bought the business June 1st of 2010. And then we got married on July 17th, 2010. But the part of the stipulation of purchasing the West Coast Swing Dance Company, as it is now known, is that he would mentor us for 18 months. And that is how I got my first book, How to Make Your Dance Business Profitable, because everything that Joe taught us prevented us from bumping our noses and breaking them and hitting our heads up against the wall.
Yeah.
So that, and then what was so funny about that, oh my gosh, so I wrote this book, I think I wrote it in 2014. Did I come out with it in 2014?
This was the first book.
The first book, yeah, How to Make Your Dance Business Profitable. And it was like, I think it came out in like June of 2014. And then unfortunately, we had financial issues. So I had to actually do everything that I wrote about in that book to keep us in business. I had to, like, cut expenses, and I had to do some really hard stuff, like 2 months
we had
after
to shut down
like
for a
I had
couple
to eat
months.
crow. I had to, like, it was so humiliating. Here I come out with this book, How to Keep Your Dance Business Profitable. And we were losing profits in September of 2014, and then we had to completely revamp. We had to reinvent ourselves to stay in business, which we did, and we remained profitable.
Yeah, we had to basically find a new location on top of that.
Yeah,
too.
it was tumultuous, but man, that was humiliating. So anyway, there were several years where we kept looking at each other like, can you believe we own a dance business? How did this happen? Because we're not champion level dancers. We're not professional. Well, we are professional. People pay us to teach them how to dance, but like, this wasn't our career path to become dance teachers. We had our day jobs.
Yeah, and it's important to know that we don't actually run or own a building.
Right. We only rent one day out of the week.
We rent out one day out of the week. We rent a location. We just show up for the most part. Put
Set
out
up our
some
music.
chairs, set up our music.
Have a good time.
Have
Clean
people
up.
come in, clean up.
Make it looking better than we left it.
Right.
Or
So
than we
we're
discovered it.
basically we're renters, and we've been fortunate enough to move. Fortunate or unfortunate to move to 3 or 4 different locations.
3 different locations,
Yeah.
and then we have that one. Well, if you count
Every
Hall,
spot we've been to, it's probably about 4 or 5. But as far as like
5.
regular weekly or monthly teachings, there's
Uh-huh.
like 1, 2, 3 places.
Right.
So, with that being said,
Flexibility.
there's like, you have to, because it was a part-time thing for the most part.
Yeah, a passion project.
Yeah.
The hobby that pays for itself,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, it took us working together, even when I was working full-time,
yeah, and I was full time.
and she was full-time as well. So
It's crazy.
to put that together once a month, or at one point we were doing it weekly.
Yeah, we were doing weekly
And
plus private lessons.
when we had a larger team, like instructors coming in and actually
helpers.
staff who would help. So there's that to manage too.
Yeah.
So I would say right now we're kind of in a fairly thinned out.
Yeah, we're only teaching
slimmed
once a
down.
month now. We're only doing monthly dances.
We're
Mary
fairly
Lou
lean
is
right
still
now when it
our
comes to that, as far as
yeah.
how we're operating in terms of
Yeah,
staff.
Mary Lou is our staff member. We love her.
Yeah,
She helps take the money, but we don't need to worry about a cleanup crew anymore because everyone pitches in. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's like 9 years of working together in the dance business.
Mhm.
And then now we're in the 10th month of you working from home, which I absolutely love. Oh my gosh, I love the fact that he works from home. I'm glad he doesn't have to commute anymore. I'm glad that I have someone to have lunch with. I'm glad that he's willing to go for walks with me.
It's been a nice adjustment.
Yeah, it's great.
It's been a nice adjustment. I've always worked late. At the top of this video we mentioned, we work late. So
Yeah.
we kind of wake up late.
In fact, it's 8:44 p.m. on Monday,
Yeah, but
October 21st, 2019.
even when I was getting up early, I was still
Yeah, you're late
coming
out.
home. Working late, and that's always been my
Yeah.
thing. Is I work late, but then I like to get up early.
Yeah.
I often say that if I didn't have to sleep, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I'm glad that you're getting some good sleep. You know why? Because
So your body needs it.
your body needs it. Oh, and by the way, thank you for getting me out of my nightmare last night. I was having a nightmare and I started
that's right.
crying out, and he was so sweet. He's like, "It's okay, I'm here. It's all right." And I was like, "Huh?
It was. I knew. Luckily, I
Oh.
was awake already.
Oh, were you?"
Yeah, I think the cat was so our cat sleeps with us. She hops in the bed and she will either go up near the feet, or probably near Jen's.
Oh yeah, she's always by my legs somewhere.
by your legs. Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of nice. I had to get up early this morning. Let's talk about our week. I had to get up early this morning because I had to get my driver's license. I already renewed my driver's license, but there's that
Our
new...
week, that's Monday.
Well, today is... Yeah, you're
So
right.
let's kind of go back.
I guess go back.
We can go back.
Well, anyway, I had to get up early, and he was sleeping so peacefully, I didn't want to wake you.
Yeah, but I mean, I woke up early enough. In fact,
Yeah.
for a Monday,
what did we
especially
do?
a Monday, I got up probably about 7:30.
It's been a big week. Like, we've been busy. Okay, so... You know what? I have a hard time going all the way back to last Monday to remember what I did, other than we started our very first podcast.
Yeah, I think last week you were basically recuperating from having traveled
I was
the
getting,
prior week.
I was getting back into the flow and putting out all the fires since I'd been traveling for nearly 2 weeks straight. And it was a good week. Last week was a really, really good productive week.
It's a stay-at-home week for you, basically.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
had been traveling a lot.
And we're traveling again tomorrow. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But looking back to last week, I think we had
We had some good times.
we were able to get out and go on our meetings with the other company we're doing work for.
Yeah,
who
Hold On
was,
Studios is a gaming company that's a startup, and we're doing the marketing and some of the graphic design and website design for them. And instead of having coffee or doing a phone meeting, we actually get together and go for a walk down the recreational trail, which just makes me so happy because I love it when I can have body in motion and talk about marketing. It's like the best kind of meeting for me is when it's a mobile working meeting where I'm actually walking and talking. It makes me feel good and healthy. So we do that. We go on that. And you know what? I'm so excited because, okay, so I thought this was really cool. So Stefan, who's our buddy and our client who owns and founded Hold On Studios, he suggested to Rene that you use your art for some of the games that we're putting together.
Yeah, that's right. So
that was huge. Like, do you want to tell him what you did?
well, that was exciting because
It's a huge opportunity. We're so
one way
excited.
to really, I guess, catch my attention is to number one, mention my art to me, or that you've seen it. You know, why the hell not?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, your art's gorgeous.
thank you. But then to like say, let's go ahead and feature the art. Not so
Yeah.
much feature, but like, I've got this stable of characters and this
Yeah.
artwork that I'm building for my characters. And to like pose the idea or the notion that these characters, this world I'm building can potentially be brought into this other circle, like video games or
Characters in video games, characters,
augmented reality or virtual reality.
Yeah, exactly. Slot machine icons, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it's exciting to take the artwork I've done, which is kind of what I've always wanted to do, especially in this last year with the artwork I've been making, is to be able to create the artwork
Mm-hmm.
and then have the artwork that I say created 5-6 a year ago still be able to be used.
Yeah, exactly. And you collect royalties or
generate,
licensing off
some
of
sort
those
income
characters.
from that. Yeah. So that's
Brilliant.
That's cool. And I guess in a nutshell, it's kind of like licensing.
Yeah,
in a way.
it is.
Which
And they need
is-
content, right? They're developing games and they
so
need
that
original
was
content.
cool. So last week
it's beautiful.
when they offered that,
That was huge.
it
I'm
again
so
it
proud
points
of you.
me in a different direction too for what I'm doing, and so that gets
Yeah, it
me
does.
excited into moving into that arena, because it's nothing I would have thought of.
Yeah.
Until
he mentioned it.
And
And
that's
then-
like under our nose. It's like, oh yeah, like,
Oh yeah, that's a revenue stream. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
License my characters. And then also too, he's just been kicking butt with the whole Hold On Studios thing. So I had been telling Stefan that we needed to get the website published. And admittedly, Stefan is incredibly talented developing games. But, websites are not his strength. And again, play to your strengths, right? This one makes gorgeous websites. We don't build websites for my auto repair shop clients because that's already taken care of by my other partners. But for smaller businesses that need website design, he does some gorgeous work. And he took that very basic website that I kind of dabbled in and Stefan kind of dabbled in, and you made it like, whoa, beautiful. And so you just totally kicked butt, like with two things, your art and your website design, and you were a badass last week. So good on you.
Thank you.
No, you're
Thank you.
super talented.
I appreciate that. I don't necessarily put it out there that I'm trying to build websites. Admittedly, it's something I've learned
It's
by
for a
way.
select group of people.
I've always built websites by means, or I should say, because I had something that I wanted to do, whether it was a dance business, my art, my comic books.
But you've built websites for several friends of ours who own businesses.
That's true.
Restaurant websites, Earl's website.
Sure. Yeah. That's and you know and those are all projects that that admittedly those are the ones I elect to take on.
J. McFarland Wine's website.
And this and it's
Yeah.
I guess I'm not a let's.
You're not. He's not posting a shingle out there saying website design, but he can do it, and he does a great job with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, do you remember those years we were both okay? Like the evolution of technology, right? Like, God, Dreamweaver, was it Dreamweaver that we were learning? And you had to oh man, just learning how to build websites back in the day when it was not so easy.
And this isn't even for people who write code. Neither of us write code or
we're
even
not
know
coders.
how to code. I can learn how to implement something if I need to by way of just Googling it.
Yeah.
But
the evolution, making websites now is so much easier to make something really
that's
beautiful.
a different topic though. That's not even either here nor there. Like it's so easy to make a website these days.
Yeah.
You have Wix, you have blah 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 blah. Go make a website.
Yeah, but some of them are better for SEO than others. I
That's
don't know
true.
if Wix has gotten better with SEO, but back in the day, Wix was horrible for SEO. So I tell people, free is not always good. But
That's
WordPress has its assets.
Yeah, but WordPress also has its pitfalls.
And it does.
It's like how many sites out there get hacked because they're WordPress sites. But basically, kind of like getting back to kind of what we were talking about before, like whatever it takes to kind of get something completed or done. That's
get her
part
done.
of working together is knowing just kind of like
Get her done.
when to kind of stop banging your head on the wall
Right.
and to have the other let you know when
Right.
like it's like oh screw this, we're just gonna do that because it's like
I'm making an executive decision.
you're right, you can
Right.
see when it's just not gonna pan out or when it's not worth that time
Yeah.
or when it's just more efficient to do B instead of A or A versus B.
Right.
So
And I had a pretty busy week too. Let's see. Got a new client. Yay. Lost an old client. That's okay. They'll be back when the time is right. I love my clients whether they're with me or not. Everybody's with me in the perfect time, and they leave me in the perfect time. And I think money was tight. So when they are more flush with cash, they'll come back, and I love them.
I'm a big comic book fan.
Yeah.
And I haven't been buying comic books lately.
Right.
I just recently went back to one of the local comic book shops that I have
Current
gone to.
comics, love them.
Yeah, and I went back because I genuinely was looking for something that was going to feed my art. I needed to study something for the most part, and so I went back in there and I bought a book and thinking it's time to kind of slowly get back into it. But I am watching my pennies and I'm because a comic book nowadays
They're not cheap.
They're between $4 and $5.
But they're beautiful artwork.
It is.
And they inspire you. And he loves sniffing the ink.
Yeah. Who doesn't,
You know what? One of these podcasts, we should show them your comic book collection.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's beautiful.
Maybe we can do a studio tour. But that'll be another one.
Yeah, our friends built him the cabinets, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful wall of cabinets that hold his comic book collection.
Where was I going with that? I mentioned
I'm sorry.
books.
I'm sorry. You were talking about watching your pennies and inspiring yourself.
Yeah, but I went out to go to study another artist because as an artist, when I'm doing my own work, I'm trying to constantly tweak it and trying to become more efficient with it. Oh. And I'm learning more in order to produce something faster or more to make it a little more consistent. I need to pull back on certain things. So in a way, if I were to look at it and kind of tie it into what you were saying earlier, like serving the client, when I create my comic books in particular, I can get a little too, detailed or just my head's just in the space of making the art instead of putting the art out. And so that requires enough, being able to kind of step back and take a look. And so when I look at art nowadays, I think about, and I have before, but now I'm just so much more tuned into it just because now that I am working full-time as an artist, that if I have all this time and I don't have the work to show for it, then I'm either spending too much time or I'm wasting time or whatever. So I'm trying to get more efficient at work and put more work out. So that's important as well.
That's
you
true.
know, is tying back to how do we work together. It's knowing when we have our independent projects
Mm-hmm.
that we have a respect for what we do, and like, okay, Renee needs art time.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true.
Yeah, because lately Jen's been flying a lot, and
Yeah.
some of those trips, most of the trips that she flies, I'm not going with her. That's just an added expense. They're not paying for me to go.
He gets alone time, so he gets to focus on art, which is awesome.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But then she's off doing her thing. I
Working.
don't aspire to be, a public speaker, but Jen has been doing a lot of Toastmasters, and so it benefits her.
And Blue Talk, I did.
Right.
And then teaching my
Right,
marketing
yeah.
classes and being out there at live events. I love it. I
And
love
you'll be
being with
going
the
to
people.
another live event
Tomorrow.
But even after that, next weekend, you'll be flying down to
yeah.
Huntington Beach or
Yeah, Newport Beach.
Newport Beach. So,
Yeah.
those are projects
And
that
I had a
are.
podcast today before this one.
Yeah.
It's been a talking week. What else? And I hired a new employee. A new
right.
part-time
That's
employee.
right.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Cause Dory, who is I got both my girls are amazing. Jessie and Dory. I'm so lucky.
Who are
to
Jessie
have.
and Dory?
Jessie and Dory are part of our Rockstar squad, and they are the writers that help keep me sane. They are my right and left arms, and they're both equally important. So neither one is, and I'm left-handed, and so having your right arm person. Anyway, the joke is that who's more important? Well, they're both amazing, but anyway, Dory's going to be starting her own thing at the beginning of the year, 2020. Wow, 2020 is coming up. And so Jessie has a friend who wanted to work with us, and so we interviewed her, and Sarah is the new girl, and that should be fun. So our squad expands as it also
Rockstar,
yeah. I'm just super lucky.
Rockstar Marketing is the name of
Rockstar
our
Marketing.
digital marketing
Bona
agency.
fide, certified, Grammy qualified rock star, right? And you did you qualified for one of the Grammys with the artwork that you did on my album cover.
Yeah, it's okay.
Again, he always makes me look so good.
It's cool. I have a thing about awards, and
You're shy.
Yeah, I'm shy, but
You don't need them. You don't need the awards.
I don't really think much about
Although
awards.
you do have a nice collection of trophies from your dance comps.
Yeah, I do, but
They're really cute.
I
Cute
put them up because
trophies.
they're shiny, not because I think anything.
Nah.
I mean, I respect it because those are fun events, but getting to awards.
You're not awards. You're not an awards
I'm
chaser.
so not awards oriented. Yeah.
But you still deliver great work, and you still are often placing.
and that's what's
finalize-
important
yeah.
is getting the acknowledgement for the work done.
There you go.
That.
Ooh.
That's
Good
what
job.
It is. Yeah.
Good job. That's your reward, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to downplay accomplishments that people
No,
may have had in those
it's
things.
true though. I think we all want to feel like, yeah, I kicked butt. Yeah,
I don't know. I always feel like I'm kicking butt.
you are.
Yeah. So
You are. You're doing a
I
great
need an
job.
award for that. So.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened. There was so much that happened. Have you ever done that? Like you can't even remember what you had for breakfast, let alone what you've done in the week.
I think last week part of what we were doing is gearing up for our last dance of the year.
Oh yeah.
Because typically our dance
yeah.
business goes up until the end of October or through October, because November, December tends to be a really busy time for most people.
Yeah, they're off on the holidays.
Yeah,
It's kind
traveling-
of tough. It's tough having a dance.
Tough to commit.
When
Yeah.
people are traveling, and that's cool. So
So
traditionally
that was on my mind because the things that I
Right.
do. But then we'll have a nice little break
Yeah.
for 2 months, and we'll actually probably maybe be able to go out and do a little more.
Yeah, maybe we'll do more
Social
social
dancing,
dancing just
yeah.
because work starts slowing down a little bit, and then fun time ramps up. Around the holidays. December is like
Mhm. company
company party time and all that fun stuff.
So I think last week.
I gotta start planning the company party. Oh my gosh, what are we
Oh
gonna do?
yeah.
We'll figure that out. It'll probably
it's
be in
a,
January because that's when Dory will be here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. What else did we do?
I think last week was just kind of, a normal week without you traveling, because admittedly when you do travel,
Yeah. I work harder. I mean, I work hard anyway, but man, I work harder when I'm traveling because I have to do whatever I'm doing that I'm hired to do, and then I got to do a full day's worth of work on top of that. And because we're traveling tomorrow up to Reading for me to go speak,
yeah,
he's so
like
sweet. He's going
like
with me because I can't do that drive on my own. I mean, I can physically, but it's just not as much fun. And we're going to spend the night with a friend of ours, a fellow dancer.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So we get to have some social.
But it is pretty much a hot minute because...
Yeah, it's a hot minute. We get to go up, I present, and then we spend the night, and then travel back
because
next
that'll
day.
be Thursday, right? When we
Yeah.
get back home. So, and then I think Friday we're going to a birthday party.
Oh, that's right. We're going to a birthday party.
Yeah,
That's right. We've been invited to that.
We have that. And then on the topic of like working together, like when we're here working at the house, we're not, like I said, I think I kind of spelled it out, we're not necessarily speaking to each other like constantly.
No, I'm at my desk doing my thing, and he's in his man cave.
We can be both quite cut off almost between us working and her obsession with TikTok, which is fun. But after a while, I feel like, what the hell am I doing on this app?
Oh my
But
God, TikTok is sucking away my life.
Yeah,
oh my
so
God.
we're both like this. So what's fun is like when we're able to go out and dance, which is like,
we have some together time.
Yeah,
and we've had some kick butt dances in the last. Oh my gosh, he took me out dancing on Wednesday night at Sly McFly's. Oof, smoking hot dances. That was fabulous. And then our dance night. He is such a good leader. Oh my gosh, ladies, I know why you line up to dance with my man, because he's fabulous.
And the guys like to dance with Jen because every time she has happy dances and you can hear her laughing and her doing her trademark smoking a cigar or a cigarette.
I don't really smoke, but I do this all the time. Whenever I find that somebody did a really cool smoking hot move, I'll be like, "Oh, that was hot," and it's become like the joke, and it's kind of funny because
it becomes fun.
It becomes fun, and like people know that I'm over the top, but they appreciate it, and they know that I'm encouraging them and I'm loving on them, and when you're a dance teacher, you want everyone to feel loved and appreciated, and it's become the joke now because and I was dancing with Julie Lombardi. Like, we had 3 smoking hot dances. I was like, oh my God, I'm going through a whole pack of cigarettes with you. And it's like, there's nothing there.
That was a fun night.
But we had fun.
That was a fun night. Our last dance of the year.
That's the other thing, too. Like, okay, for people who don't dance, it's like, what? You guys dance with other people and what? And how does that work? So when you run a dance business, you wear several hats. You're the host, right? You want everybody at your party to feel loved and appreciated and encouraged. You're also the teacher. And in some ways, because of the host, you're the host and the teacher. Like, we really do take it upon ourselves. It's our job to make sure that we dance with every single person there. Because what I don't like seeing is someone has come and handed their money to us, and then they're sitting because no one's asked them to dance. And so Rene and I are really good about asking everybody to dance. And most of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the times, there are more women there than men. So I lead as well as follow. And so we had a large number of girls, extra girls. And so I was dancing with some of them. And oh man, that Bruno Mars song came on.
Crazy song. Crazy song. I forget what it's called. Something about, put some...
wait a minute.
Put something
you gotta
on
relax.
It. Pat it, yeah. Pat, or something. Yeah, it's a Bruno Mars song. It's super bad.
Gosh, you guys know what I'm talking about.
You can't help but have fun with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's got it.
Let me show you just what to do. I don't know.
Hey, Google, what's that Bruno Mars song? You gotta relax. Hey, Google. What's that Bruno Mars song? You gotta relax.
Sorry, I can't help with that yet.
I know. Anyway, it's a Bruno Mars song, and we were just like, we were even taking our two ponytails like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one. But yeah, if everyone had fun with that song.
Anyway, our job is to make sure that when people come to our dance party, they have a good time and that they feel loved and welcomed. In fact, you know what was really cute? There's a brand new girl that joined our community. Her name is Sage, and as soon as she walked in, I'm like, hi, and I walk in and hug her, and she's like, thank you for recognizing me and thank you for making me feel so welcome. I'm like, of course, that's how it should be, right?
Yep.
It goes back to, we both understand that it's our job to surprise and delight our clients in the very best possible way, and we just love, literally, like brothers and sisters, we love the people that we serve. So it's easy to do that because we love them and they're fun.
It helps when you love what you do.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's another thing that's like different. We have crafted careers of doing what we love.
I would say, yeah.
We don't waste time on stuff we
I would say
don't want to do. Right?
Well, you become, I've always found ways to appreciate where I worked, and genuinely, like, I did really like where I worked, for the past 20 years, but, wanting to move on, it just kind of speaks for that wanting to do, that thing that you actually want to go out and do. So when I do that, it's like, wow, this is a whole different level. So when you say, like, okay, do the thing you love to do, it's always going to be a matter of like connecting with people, because if you're kind of creating a void, then you're not really touching people, but you're still working to some degree trying to solve a problem or trying to provide some service that helps somebody help them. So when it comes to dance, the easiest thing you can do is dance with somebody.
Make them happy.
Yeah, and smile while you're doing it.
Have fun. Smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Woo, that was hot.
So, and dance affords us that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, and spread joy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we did last week.
That's what
so
we did.
Between talking about work projects, having new potential opportunities,
new
employee, planning
new
a dance,
client,
and going out and dancing, and
that
was all in a week.
Yeah, and also too, you know what? I know what I did over the weekend. Yesterday, I made sure that I did some self-care. Now that is something that sometimes, oh my gosh, sometimes I put my own self-care in the background, and because if you own your own business, you find that when you're doing all the administrative stuff and the hiring and the onboarding and the sales and the technical and it's a lot, even when you have a team. And I'm pretty good about delegating, but admittedly there are some things that I just really like doing, like onboarding new clients. I have to get their social media posts put together, and I want to do their first blog, and I just want to launch them beautifully so I can hand it off to one of my team members or keep it myself or whatever. But I just want to make sure that the onboarding process is just easy and they're delighted, right? And because of that, because I get so wrapped up in my day-to-day, I got to do this for this client, and I got to do this. And I had not taken one of those nice, long, put bath salts in the tub, kind of long soaking bath. I don't think I had one of those in
that's right. You did that
over
Sunday.
6 months or something. I used to do them frequently, and then they just disappeared from my radar. And I gave myself a nice soaking bath yesterday. It was so lovely. It was so nice. And what else did we do? Yesterday was the day of self-care, and it just was
I think we went out for
and we had two indulgent meals. I've been kind of dieting. I got tired of looking at my double chin, and I still have a ways to go. But again, I wasn't taking care of myself. And so I've been, especially when I'm traveling, I'm not able to really watch my diet because I eat when other people eat. And when other people around me are eating all the time, I love to join them. And I have a hard time saying no. So, I put on some weight this year. And because yesterday was my splurge day, oh my gosh, we had was our first meal?
we went out
Oh yeah, I had that
We went out to the
Cannery Row Brewing Company.
right. We went
And
to
Guy
Cannery Row.
Fieri did a diners, drive-ins, and dives. You know that TV show, Guy Fieri, and he goes around to the local places and like sees what they did. Well, there's this short rib grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, it is so good. Look this thing up. Short rib grilled cheese sandwich.
That's right. We split that.
And we split that.
That was so good.
So fabulous.
It was so good. And then we had pizza
Then we split the pizza.
for dinner.
And so this is another thing I just totally appreciate about you. Like most of the time, I have my own meal and he has his own meal. But because he knows that I'm trying to really watch my weight, I'm like, can you split it with me? That way I can have it, but like I won't be tempted to eat the whole thing. And he goes along with it, and I'm so grateful. Because
it works out. We were talking about that because
we don't come out overly full.
We don't, and I think it just comes down to like honestly, it's like, again, you have to be on the same page. That works when you
It
know,
helps with that we both like the same types of foods.
Yeah. But if I'm in the mood for something else,
Yeah, that's cool.
you know, she would do.
I'll just adjust and
she'd
have
just
something
do
smaller
something
or
else,
whatever.
or save it.
But the
eat
fact
half.
that you shared it with me, I was like, I can have pizza and a short rib grilled cheese sandwich all in the same day and not go over my calorie budget.
It worked out. It worked out well, you know, and I enjoyed the food too. So like, even for me, when we do that,
So
I
good.
tend to want to like potentially at first I'm like, okay, do I really want to eat that? And then I'm like, I want to order something, but then I'm like, no, we'll save money. And then I start eating it. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. I'm glad I did that. And then
Tastes good.
lately,
Yeah.
because we haven't been eating out as much, the idea that I want my own thing, it hits me when I'm finishing eating like half of a sandwich. And I realize I can't eat much more than this, even if I wanted to.
Oh, so what you're
So
saying
it's
is
like-
that now that we're splitting it, you're like, well, that was the perfect size anyway.
Yeah.
So
like
you don't feel like you're, because I did offer you, I said, if you're still hungry for something, let's get you something else. I just need to make sure that I don't eat that entire sandwich.
Yeah.
Because I would be tempted to eat, because it's good. It's really good. Come to Monterey, come to the Cannery Row Brewing Company and have that sandwich. And then for
It's a
dinner,
good
go to
sandwich,
Gianni's
yeah.
Pizza and get like a pizza. And get your salad.
Yeah, we ordered a monster salad.
Yeah, it was
This
like
thing
a
was huge,
family
and I didn't think
size.
we'd be able to finish it between the two of us.
So
But
good.
it was easy. But yeah, Sunday was a good day of just
yeah,
resting,
self-care, clean the
self-care,
house, that kind of thing.
clean the care, cleaning and taking care of ourselves. I made a video. I haven't posted it yet.
Oh,
No, I think I showed it to you, where I was
Of the cat?
vacuuming, and I went from my room to the cat in the bedroom, and I was gonna make a post about it. I still might, but I was gonna write, I really enjoy vacuuming
you do?
because it's like I could fall asleep to a vacuum cleaner in the background. I probably could. I really could.
Uh-huh.
But then I tend to do a lot of just like creative thinking when I'm vacuuming.
Oh yeah, same thing for me when I'm scrubbing the toilet and doing I do the bathrooms and sinks, kitchen area.
No, we live in a
And
900 square foot.
900 square feet.
It's pretty small.
We can clean this place top to bottom in like an hour. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
But like you're right. Like I do the dusting, and I remembered yesterday when I was out there cleaning. We've converted our garage into a dance studio, and we have a whole wall of mirrors, and they're getting a little dusty, and I'm just like dusting them. And it's true, my brain is like la 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 la. You're right. There's a certain meditation when I'm cleaning, and I'm really glad that you like the vacuuming. I don't mind the vacuuming. You know what? We bought the Dyson. We call it the BB-8, you know, because we like Star Wars. And it's like this little roller, and it gets into the tight spots. And man, vacuuming is so much fun between the little hand Dyson, hand-powered one. Not hand, you know, like the little one, and then like the regular one.
It's a smaller
It's
handheld.
just so easy. They've got the great attachments, and you can just like get the cobwebs, and
It's
like
the dust buster
it
of
actually makes
Dyson.
vacuuming fun. Like, who would think that vacuuming would be fun? But that Dyson is awesome. I don't know if I would want it as a birthday gift per se, but like it's a really great tool and I love it.
Yeah, they're easy to use.
And the fact that, you know, you really do a great job. Like I'll do the cursory vacuuming and I will use my attachments, but he gets even more into the details. So it's like awesome. So while you're like getting underneath things, I'm in the bathroom getting underneath things going, ooh, I haven't cleaned this in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. So yeah.
So yeah, vacuum.
And why do we do that? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why I love a clean house. Honestly, I have a really hard time working when my environment is messy.
There you go.
When my environment is messy, my thinking and my day is messy. But when my environment is tidy and neat, I am far more productive. I'm able to compartmentalize my time better, and I have a better flow of creativity when my environment is clean.
Yeah, that's a good. I'm glad you brought that up because like being able to work together.
And we're on the same page there.
Well, it's important
your
to
man
have a
cave-
clean space. But I recently just rearranged
Yeah.
my place.
Yeah.
Not drastically, but I just cleared out a lot of
It's
things.
nicer. It's
But
cleaner.
it's a little leaned out too, as far as.
We both got rid of some stuff we didn't need.
Yeah, the artistic tools that I use, I just really since I've been doing a lot of work digitally on my iPad, now that's become my main artistic tool or instrument for creating the things that I do that you see online, or that you might see online. But yeah, so like working together, I think having a clean space that's not.
It's a small space, so it has to be clean. Like seriously, there's really no room for having a mess. Even in the kitchen, like if we were to put a couple bowls in the sink, we have to clean them because we have very small workspace, and so if it's not clean, then how am I going to prepare a meal for the next? You know what I mean? So it's just we're both neat, which is helpful. Thank you for matching me on my neatness.
You, baby.
Oh, thank God. Really, because when the levels are not matched on the tidiness, it can be a pain point. So thank you for matching me on that. Oh my gosh, I got so lucky.
I have to admit though, I live in my man cave.
Yeah, and I don't touch his
Probably
man
like,
cave. That's his man cave. That's his.
12 hours a day. I'm just in there.
I'll dust and I'll vacuum, but I'm not getting into your area.
Yeah, what you're seeing here usually is where we would typically have lunch. So this is just.
I sit here and he sits there.
It's like a dinner table, like in half. There's a piece missing, so it's really almost like a up against the wall. So and there's 4 chairs that we're sitting on 2 of them right now. But this is where we typically will consume our dinner and to a certain degree our entertainment because we don't have a TV. So we break out either our iPhones or an iPad, and we'll just have it like right here. And then we'll just, we'll dine, we'll drink or whatever we're doing. And then.
And when people come over, it's always gathered around this table, the couch, this little area. We'll have to give them a tour.
Yeah, we'll make a tour of one of our videos, just to show you where we work, where we live, maybe kind of,
let's do that.
Monterey to a little bit, where we're at here. But the question I think was at the top was like, how do you do it working living together and working together, and not everyone's in this situation, married couple, or maybe you're with a significant other, to where you're actually working in the same space, not an actual brick and mortar place, but it's an actual, it's a household for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's our story.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. There's our secret sauce. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Good job.
Awesome.
And
it helps having the captain of her company, of the leader of the company who knows the direction she wants to take her company in, because I am a part of the team and I live with it, but at the same time she gives direction.
Yeah.
And that's vital. That's important.
Well, I'm the one assuming all the risk. But I will say this, if you are an employee and you are thinking about becoming your own boss because you're not happy with how your boss has been treating you, or you just don't like the dynamics at work or whatever, you think you could do a better job, it's really an interesting thing to go from being the employee to becoming the boss. And I was an employee for several years, and then I found out that I was really not very good at being an employee. So I should just be the boss, and so I started selling health insurance. Gosh, 2003. I started selling health insurance, and so I was a contractor selling my own stuff, and then up to 2007, and then I worked for somebody else for a couple of years, and then I became the boss again, now of Rockstar Marketing for 10 years. And it's really interesting because you don't know when you're an employee the power of what you're saying to your boss, and you may think that your boss is like being unfair or not paying you enough or whatever, and then you become the boss and you're like, oh, that's why they said that, because there really isn't any money here. Or that's why they were stressed, because the employees weren't being really productive. Or so where I'm going with this is I've been watching you recently. In the very beginning of the year, you still had the employee mentality of, okay, I'm here to show up and I'll get work done. Where's the money? And then now we're in the 10th month, October, and you're like, oh, I have to generate that money. Oh, I better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trivializing. It's just you're becoming more of the boss of your own destiny. So yes, I have 10 years of running.
I've got to do.
Yeah, I have 10 years of running my business, and believe me, it has not all been a cakewalk. It has been a growing, sometimes painful, but a growing path, right? And in another 10 years, I'm going to have even more experience to go, wow, look at how I've grown. And I'm just super proud of how you are, taking things on and you're owning it. And it's fun seeing your evolution. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next year. Yeah.
Next 2020 is around the corner, right?
2020, it's going to be awesome. It is.
I'm looking forward to it.
Even with a recession, honestly, okay, all of us will survive multiple recessions in our life. Some are going to be bigger recessions than others. Some will be like a little speed bump, and others will be like the Great Recession, which we had 2007 through 2009, right? And then, but you know what? Life continues marching on, and we all grow and we all learn from that. And if it's okay, let's do parting thoughts, and then we'll let these folks say goodnight.
Okay.
But my parting thought is that lately I've been really thinking a lot of, okay, I've been doing this for 10 years. When am I finally going to be able to afford buying a house? And I've really been like, dang it, I should be able to buy a house. But you know what? I've been reading a lot of articles. There are a lot of people like us, and the housing market is still so really unattainable. Especially where we live here in California, especially in Monterey, California. Oof. But I am not alone. And I also am reminded that the baby steps, though I could get very impatient and I want the baby steps to be over, I want to be running and not just taking baby steps. But you know what? Our whole life is a series of baby steps, and eventually we always get to our destination, regardless of the speed. So I encourage, I'm doing this for myself, but I'm also encouraging you. If you are in business for yourself, or you're starting a new project or a new endeavor, and you're starting to be like, okay, I've dedicated enough time to this. When is it going to arrive? When is it going to happen? Keep going, because it's going to come. It has to, and it will. But you have to just keep going and appreciate the journey as much as you can, even when you feel like you're crawling at the speed of molasses. What about you?
I think a parting shot for me is, from my experience, is just trying to find new and different ways to approach my own process. In other words, kind of trying to change up what I did, not always relying or thinking that what I did before is the only way to do it. So that's my own challenge to myself, but also just something to keep in mind is, the answer just might be there for whatever it is, whatever challenge you're facing. It's just you may not have seen it. Or it helps to have someone or to seek knowledge somewhere else
A
to
coach,
try and
a mentor.
give you some guidance, or just to even get your mind thinking in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that comes from being able to get out.
And watching Gary Vee.
And Gary, yeah, well, there's that, but there's also like, what am I physically doing myself? And I think a lot of that is just being able to put myself out there, both literally and figuratively. But also the main thing is just like, since I am now self-employed, it's also realizing that sometimes I can focus too much on what I want and trying to focus too much, and the more I try to get something, I could potentially be pushing it away. So that's something that I've been working on. So maybe what I'm trying to say is like, don't necessarily always try to like push for that thing you want, because the thing that you might find that really kind of makes you happy may not even be anything, may not be the thing that you were going after. So be open to being able to put yourself out there, which is what I've been doing all year, and being open to just being open.
Good. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for spending some time with us. I know that some of you have never heard of us before, and we just welcome you into our lives. And I'm Jen Filzen.
I'm Rene.
And Rene Ariola. We have different last names, just in case you were wondering.
Renee's easier to remember.
But anyway, thanks for spending time with us as we talk about marriage and business and life. Yeah. All right. See you later.